Hussbus bus stop. JP Hussey here, owner of the Hussey Team Mortgage Advisors, with this week's Hussbus bus stop. All right, let's talk credit. All right, the first thing I'm going to say, all right, is be careful what you read about out there from lenders, this or that, marketing. Like we've always talked about, you gotta look into it. You gotta get real information. You can't be BS'd all the time. All right, so that's the point of these bus stops, to try to give you the real information. Obviously, a lot of times our opinion, but trying to get through all the BS and tell you what's going on and hopefully help you out. All right. So what just came out, I believe like last week, right, is the Federal Housing Finance Agency, all right, FHFA, all right, who kind of sets all the rules for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, right, the back-end investors, so to say, that back most of conventional loans and some other things, okay? It's a whole nother topic, all right? But what they said was, all right, that lenders are now allowed to use, all right, VantageScore, all right, 4.0. All right, currently, all right, VantageScore is, and this is really confusing stuff sometimes when we try to simplify it, that's Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, right? Those are the three credit agencies. And when you buy a home, most times you got to pull all three. You take the middle score, and that's the qualifying score. And of course, there's a lot of other things on your credit, right? So right now, FHFA allows just the typical Vantage score. It's been around for a long time, all right? And there's different ways of pulling data and giving weight to certain things on your credit profile to give you a higher score or a lower score, right? That's what credit scores are, all right? And there's a model behind that, all right? Now, that's VantageScore. That's what we're using now, all right? Whatever the back-end stuff is with that. That's what's used. So, VantageScore 4.0, all right, it's a pretty big deal that they're saying. We've thought about it for a while. This would come. It's a newer model, all right? And supposedly, what this is going to do is look at, it's going to change the scoring models, right? And what it's supposedly supposed to do is to open it up a little bit more, all right? So I'm looking at it right now about what it is, and I'll kind of just read it, right? It's considered to be more inclusive. This is the 4.0 versus the Vantage score, the regular one. Allowing more borrowers, all right? Now this is a big one, especially those with limited credit histories, right? So if you've only used cash all your life, you don't have any credit, and then you're like, go to buy a house, and like, dude, we need to see credit, right? You go and you get a couple credit cards, you start building your credit, right? Sometimes before your scores kind of pop, it could take some time, could take a year, could take 2 years. So this is maybe allowing more limited credit histories, all right? Obviously responsible credit histories, all right? That's what it's saying, and it says limited credit histories to qualify for more mortgages, all right? So it's saying it's designed to open up about designed to score 33 million more people than traditional models, right? Including 4.1 million more minority borrowers. Okay, so this is opening it up, okay? Alternative data, this is cool, all right? There you go. So usually, like, unless you get a collection, right? But your cell phone bill, water bill, rents, right? A lot of those things don't go on your credit. It doesn't hold weight, all right? That's an alternative way of looking at things. But it makes sense. It's still a bill that you're paying. But it looks like this Vantage 4.0 is going to allow that, and that's going to show, it's going to give you credit for paying that rent, that water bill, the Comcast bill, Verizon bill, cell phone bill, AT&T. Looks like that's what they're trying to do. Right now you can't use that, which is honestly kind of stupid. Let's put it into it, see if people pay those things on time, all right? Give them good history. So it's opening up, all right, and getting rid of the older model. Now here's the thing. This is where there could be some BS out there. Lenders are always looking for ways to market, right? To get you in there, to kind of bait you in, right? And then maybe switch you later. There's still tons of bait and switches out there. Whatever. People are going to start saying, oh, look, the new scoring model. Some of the things I talked about, blah, blah, blah. But here's the deal. They don't have to use it, all right? And it's going to take a lot of time to implement, in my opinion. It's not going to be just a snap of a fingers, let's use the new model. Because there's so much back end stuff with mortgages, so much behind the scenes, right? That it's just going to take time. And knowing the mortgage industry, it takes time, all right? And even when it is implemented, they don't have to use it anyway. They can still use the old one, according to what we're reading, all right? So this is a really good thing, and I'm glad it's been passed so that we can get to this spot at some point. But I believe it's going to take some time, right? And remember, there is consumer credit reports, right? Which the score is always higher than what a lender pulls. Listen, it's all racket, in my opinion, all the credit thing. Let's have one model. Let's allow a lot of certain things, and let's figure it out from there, all right? Because of the consumer reports, it's good to see what's on your credit. The score doesn't really matter in almost all situations. It's going to be one of these Vantage scores, all right? So it's coming. I think it's great. Just do the right thing. Build your credit. Pay your bills. And fall in line. You'll be able to buy a house if that's something you want to do. Later. Hussbus bus stop.